10 years of atheism. Finally, Dr. Jeffrey Lang embraces Islam. Everyone's journey towards Islam varies. Likewise with Jeffrey Lang. This mathematics professor received guidance through the intermediary of his students at the University of San Francisco, USA. He was given a copy of the Koran, which he acknowledged was a very impressive holy book. One day, he unexpectedly found a small room in the basement of a church near campus. Apparently, the room was used by Muslim students to pray 5 times a day. Well, in that small room, he finally gave his Shahada. Here's the complete story. For those who have embraced Islam, Allah is unrelenting, pursuing, sustaining, and guiding love in His Quran. Like a vast and majestic ocean, luring you deeper until you sink into it. But instead of drowning in a sea of darkness, you find yourself immersed in a sea of divine light and grace. Like when I read the Quran and pray, the door of my heart opens, and I sink into an extraordinary tenderness. Love becomes more permanent and real. I am very happy to have found faith in a religion that makes sense. While at Notre Dame Boys High, a Catholic school, discussions with the school chaplain, my parents, and my classmates could not convince me of the existence of God. Finally, I turned into an atheist at the age of 18. For 10 years, I was an atheist, until one day, I dreamed that I was prostrating with a man in the same room. I was standing next to that man. And in front of me, there was a person in a white robe who led our prostration movement. After prostrating, we sat on our heels. I felt calm and peaceful when doing it. I had that dream several times. I won't be disturbed by dreams, but I find it strange that I feel comfort when I wake up. But I don't know what it is. 10 years later, in his first lecture at the University of San Francisco, I met a Muslim student attending a mathematics class. I immediately developed a friendship with him and his family. Religion, however, is not a common topic with Muslim families. But one time I was given a copy of the Quran. I started reading the Quran, but with strong prejudices. I feel that what I experienced is in the Quran. How could the author of the Quran know everything, I wondered. But strangely, the Quran always answers what I ask very precisely. In the early 80s, there were not many Muslims on the University of San Francisco campus. I found a small place in the basement of a church where some Muslim students were praying. After I mustered up the courage to visit the place, I finally decided to visit the place where the Muslim students prayed. When I left that place a few hours later, I had declared the Shahada. I testify that there is no God but Allah, and I testify that Muhammad is his messenger. After I said my Shahada, I decided to follow the Muslim students in prayer. I was with other students who were performing prayers led by the Imam. We bowed down with our faces pressed against the red and white carpet. I felt calm, as if the sound had been turned off, and then we sat back on our heels. As I looked forward, I could see Ghassan, who had become the Imam. He went to my left under the window, flooding the room with light. She wore a long white dress, and on her head was a white scarf with red designs. Dream, I screamed in my heart. This is exactly like a dream I once had. I had completely forgotten, and now I was stunned and afraid. Am I dreaming? I am wondering. Am I awake? I tried to focus on what was happening to determine if I was sleeping. A cold current flowed through my body, making me shudder. Oh my God, this is real. Then the cold subsided, replaced by a gentle warmth radiating from within. Tears welled up in my eyes. Every Muslim's journey is unique, varying from one to another in many ways. From once challenging the existence of God, I became a firm believer in God. From a soldier who fought a fierce battle against the Koran, he became one who surrendered to it. From one who never knew love and who only wanted to live a comfortable materialistic life until he died, I changed into one whose life became full of love, compassion, and spiritualism. "You will kneel before God, Jeffrey," my father said when I denied the existence of God at the age of 18. 10 years later, it became a reality. I was now on my knees, and my forehead was on the ground. The highest part of my body, which contains all knowledge and intelligence, is now on the lowest ground in recognition of God's majesty.